Greetings everyone to the Blue Deck 52 channel. This is a routine I saw from Mark on Totally Magic. I haven't seen it before. He's the only one who's shown me this routine. I like it. It's so clean, it's self-working, no sleights, no gimmicks. I use two cards, but one is for predictor cards. If you only have one deck, then you can use, I suppose, the soulmate of a card as the predictor of a card. You know, the two black threes or two red sevens or whatever. And it's really quite simple. There's no double speak by the magician. Everything that he says, he simply does. And it's quite an interesting result. So we give these things a shuffle. We can use either deck as our working deck or as our prediction deck. Let's just say we use the red as the working deck, and we'll just put these, I'll get my prediction cards from these in a minute. So basically what I'm going to do is you can give this deck to the spectator to shuffle. If they don't want to shuffle, you just give it a genuine shuffle. And then all the magician will do is, without changing the order of the cards, he will simply view the cards and he'll decide on 3 cards that he will then try and select prediction cards for out of the blue deck. So he does that. He will just give that a very quick cut and put it into 3. So I'm going to now make a prediction here. Let's have a look. I think we'll go 1 there. I mean, you can put these prediction cards face up or face down if you want to. I mean, if you put them face up, then the prediction obviously is out in the open. There's no going back from that. But I'll just leave my prediction cards face down for the moment. So that's what we've done. The way that the routine will work is that I'll simply deal down cards. When the spectator says stop, the prediction card will go in here and we just drop them on top like that. No sleight, nothing, it's as simple as that. So we could perhaps start here. I'm dealing down, the spectator says stop, the card goes in, I put it there, that's it, clean, sweet. Same again here, spectator says stop, the card goes in, done. And just to make sure that it's completely random, we'll give this middle deck a nice shuffle as well, so we don't know what cards are above and below the selected card as it goes in. What I'll do now is I'll just gather up the cards and I'll make 3 piles such that the prediction cards are at the top of each pile. Now, unfortunately, I wanted to make sort of 3 really even piles, and right now I definitely do not have even piles, so I'll have to just, this is going to change the order of the cards again if it wasn't random enough. I think that's pretty good, not too bad. I just want to have an even distribution of cards so that it's fair for each card. So what we can do now is, I think we can just do it again very quickly just to make sure that it is random. So we go stop again, in we go, stop again, in we go, and stop again, and it's truly random. So what we have now after mixing the cards up thoroughly is that our prediction card is going to be facing one of these red cards. So we'll just pull that out. That's all we can do really. Same again with here, and they've been definitely shuffled, as you can see. And finally we'll go this one. Now we have our prediction card. I'll just slide that underneath, and I'll just slide that one underneath quickly myself, and this one underneath. So this is what's so amazing. There was no sleights. We shuffled the deck, 3 random piles, inserted each card at a random point. But when we did it the second time, which made it even more random, we ended up with a situation where we have a 7 of hearts, but it's a 7 of diamonds. And the 7 of diamonds is in fact the 7 of hearts. And the Queen of diamonds, well, she was just looking on. She's quite happy to look on. So that's the routine. You can get the 7 of hearts to match the 7 of hearts, or the 7 of diamonds to match the 7 of diamonds, but I just like that crossover effect from diamond to heart. But it works either way. You can really do so much with this routine. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you like that. Okay, here's the tutorial. As you saw in the performance, you can use 2 decks, but if you've just got the 1 deck, that's fine. We can simply use the 1 deck and take predictor cards from the single deck. So this is how it works, guys. Let's say we're going to go with the kings. This would be a preset deck, but the point being that the cards we are looking for to make the routine work have to be in the first position. I'm using kings so they stand out. The first position, the 5th position, and the last position, okay? So that's all you've got to know. King in the first, king in the 5th, king in the last position. However, when the prediction cards go down, it turns out that we end up with the king of hearts first, the king of diamonds second, and the king of spades third. I'll show you what I mean anyway. But just for starters, just that order: first position, 5, and last, and that's how the setup is. Of course, if you were just going to do random cards and you were going to give the deck a cut, you could make 5 of hearts your last card so that when you cut it becomes the last card, and then the 2 of diamonds and the jack of diamonds would be the cards that you would be using. In this case, 2 is your first position, jack's in the 5th position, and 5 of hearts in the last position after cutting the deck, if you follow that. But for now, we'll go with the kings, okay? Now, a good effect is to match up kings with the queen. So you can go queen of heart, queen of diamonds, queen of spades, right? And so once we have the position where we have our cards in the correct position, first, 5th, and last, we simply cut the deck. It doesn't matter where you cut it, randomly into 3, like so. And for the purposes of demonstration, you simply say, how this works is that I'll pick up a pack and I will download cards until you say stop. And while I'm saying that, I download 4 cards only. And I say, and when you say stop, you put your card into the pile and I drop my cards on top, okay? And that's just for demonstration purposes. But that's all you do, you download 4. And the reason why you do that is because what you're actually doing is you are moving the king of diamonds to the bottom because it was in the first position, and you've then moved the king of hearts to the top. So that's why we download 4, to end up with the 2 kings top and bottom, if you follow that. No cards associated with the prediction cards are in the middle pile at all. And our last king is already in the bottom position over here. So what we can do is just begin the trick. It's that simple. I deal down, they say stop. I put a card in, close it up. That's it. We'll go over here. I can deal down a few cards. They say stop. I put the queen in. That's it. And because there's no need for a bottom card here, I can actually give this a shuffle, which makes it very more convincing, more random. I deal down. In she goes. And that's it. And as I mentioned before in the performance, Mark from Totally Magic showed us this trick, and it's just so clean. There's no slights. It's just a great routine, I reckon. So we then just gather up our cards, and we simply say that we're going to make 3 piles such that the queens will be at the top of each. So what we do is when we get to this queen, we keep going until we get to the second queen, and then we put all of those on top of that, okay? Because we want to keep our king at the bottom. Then we go through to find the next queen, and there she is. So there we are, and there we are. And as you can see, even though we started off with the kings being diamond, heart and spade, when we go through the routine, it turns out that we end up with heart, diamond, spade instead of diamond, heart, spade, but it's not a big deal. Now from here, we can say, unfortunately, I wanted to have even number of piles, and it turns out that there's more cards here and more cards here than here. So even though you don't have to do this, I just find it's just so much more convincing, and you randomly take some cards off and do that. It just seems, wow, it's even more mixed up now. And just say, well, look, to be fair and to be really thorough, let's just mix them in one last time. So and they say stop again. It goes in, bang. But this time, our king is up against our queen. Stop, in she goes, and stop, in she goes. We just simply extract those two. We extract these two, and we extract these two, and again you can just either reveal, 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 which is nice. Another way of doing it is you can have a bit of fun with the whole idea of the kings and queens. I mean, if you wanted to, you could have the kings as the predictor cards, right? And the queens as the card in the working deck, right? And you could, tell a bit of a story. They're looking for their wives, and it turns out that she's hiding under the bed, and she's hiding under the bed, and she's hiding under the bed. Or you could be mischievous. You can have the Queen of Hearts hiding under the King of Spades bed or something like that. But that's basically the routine. I hope that was clearer than mud, and that you enjoy doing the routine. And once again, one last shout out to Mark at Totally Magic for putting this one out there. Cheers, guys.